Yeah, we back up in this thing, and no, I was just mentioning to Trent, like, yo, this city I be living in is wild, bro, because it's like people just say what's on their mind, whether they like in their right mind or under the influence of some sort, whether they're
Oh
old
God.
or whether they're extremely young. Like the other week, or it was actually like maybe like a month and some change ago or whatever, but this little girl's walking with her mom or whatever. Then like we're both standing at this like this, like when you're basically going to cross the street, you have to crosswalk waiting for the light change kind of thing. This little girl looks up at me and calls me a pretty elf, bro. A pretty elf. I said, what the bro? She could have been like maybe 6 or 7 or some shit. And I know kids have funny imaginations, but it's like when kids say stuff to you, like in a weird way, it's like it's something like it's like like it's their truth kind of thing, right? And it's like, for example, kids are honest where if you're talking to them really close in the face and your breath stinks, they'll tell you, Mister, your breath stinks or whatever, right? And like it's something that you have to like just understand that that's some real shit. But I say all that to say, bro, it's like it was one of the funnier experiences I've had in this city because it's like people just yell out incoherent shit, just yell stuff out. But it's like when little kids be yelling and like her mom's face went so red, she's like, oh, I'm sorry. And it's just like, don't even worry about it. Like they could have been a lot worse that a kid, something that a kid just yells out. Like, so like to be like,
Yep.
so for like a little girl to be like, oh, you look like a pretty elf. I'm like, what the, because like I'm wearing my mask and I guess my ears looked a little bit pointy or whatever, but regardless, it's not about the fact that my ears look pointier. They already look pointy, but the fact that like they look a little bit pointier when the mask pull them down, like that's the only reason why. And I was wearing like a green hoodie, so it's like a dark green kind of hoodie. So it's like that's the only reason why I can think she would think that I'm some type of elf, bro. Because I was crying, bro. But because I'm like, no, there's no way this look like. Where else would you think of that? But I don't know if you've ever had some wild experience like that happen when like a little kid just kind of says some shit to you, like
So it's not so much that, it's just so much more scare the shit out of people walking down the street. I don't know what it is about just like how I walk down the street, but like when I was living in Kitchener, it happened twice. There's twice on one fucking walk. This is the only thing I can think of that comes to mind, even in relation to this. I was going to cross the street, and there was this young lady. She was standing next to me, and we were both waiting to cross the walk go the same way, and she just kept looking at me like just fucking like, I'm just like, dude, chill. Like, I'm not doing anything. I am literally just standing here minding my own motherfucking business. And when that fucking light went white, or that the guy walked for the walk signal, she like took off running basically. And I was like, cool. Walked down the street back, and then I walked up Hazel Street when I was still living there, and I'm walking up. This mom is walking with her kid in front of me, and she turns around, catches like one glimpse of me, grabs her kid, and like fucking pulls her clothes and picks her up. And I'm just like, I'm literally just got weed in my pocket. I'm trying to go home. Like, that's all I'm doing here. Like, I don't know what, like, anything untoward I was doing, but like apparently just have serial killer written all over the face when I'm walking around in the town. And it hasn't gotten much better living around here.
And that's the thing that's wild about it, Trent, because it's like, people might have a perception about them, but at the end of the day, you know what you're going to do. Like, you don't have, if you don't have any intention on harming these people. So when people like, even me, bro, like similar to you, where how a little girl could more or less have the perception of me of saying like, I look like a pretty elf, which is funny as shit. But then a grown ass person might be looking at me like, oh, this person might try to harm me kind of thing. And I'm looking at it like, I'm just walking down the street. Buddy, you can cross the street, or miss, you can cross the street all you want to, or whatever the case is, if that's how you feel, right? Broad daylight or nighttime or whatever, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you choose to cross, but that's just where we at, bro. Like, because right now on some real shit, it's like we can't really be thinking about what other people think about us in that regard, because it's like, as crazy as it might seem, like we're all human, so we might feel like, oh, that's disrespectful. But at the same time, it's like, you know what? Cool. There's some type of insecurity or unfortunate, some type of fear or whatever within you that's causing you to act that way. Because if I would have tried to hurt you or run up on you or harm you, that would have already happened. I wouldn't have been walking behind you for 4.5 blocks or whatever, or walking beside you on the other side of the street, and you think I'm walking with, even though we're kind of at the same pace, you think I'm following you. Nah, bro.
It's not like saying you don't care about like their well-being or what happens to them, but as far as like in terms of like their anxiety towards how you like approach them, that's not our problem, because we're not walking with ill intent. 99.9% of the time, we're not walking with ill intent. So fuck off, basically. If you have some untoward reaction towards it, fuck off. That's all I have to say.
But that's the thing too. It's like, it even in saying those like that, hey, like I don't have no, like 99.9% of the time I don't have ill intent. It's cool, like if you say that for yourself, but some of these other people out here, as you can be like, as you can imagine, these motherfuckers are devious, bro. Like, or not even in the sense of devious, like, oh, I'm gonna kill you or something wild like that, but devious in the sense of, I'm gonna cut you off. Say you're walking with a coffee, I'm gonna cut you off. You're gonna fuck around and step on your own shoelace or trip over your own foot or some nonsense, and then you're gonna spill your coffee. I'm saying it in the context of people walk like 6 or 7 or 8, 9 people walking down the street in the same direction, like on the same sidewalk. Because it's like, I'm saying like a low number of 6 or 7, but it's really way more, especially if you live downtown, like where I be living or whatever. Like it's way more than that. I'm just using that as an example. So many, like, it's not even funny because you will bump into people and they'll turn around, Trent, and look at you like you're crazy. And it's like, bro, you literally were walking with your phone down, like your head down on your phone, bumped into me. I turn around for a second to look at who's behind me. I turn back around, you bump right into me. It's like, bro, what we doing? And then you want to look at me like I'm crazy, or now we had a fight. It's like, I'm cool. I'm totally cool. It's just a lot of insecurities and nonsense and bullshit that people unfortunately have within themselves. Like sometimes
playing
it's
fucking
being
power games with other people for no reason. Well, for us, it makes no sense. For them, it makes a lot of sense. Like it's how they get off. But like,
I mean, honestly, I understand it. Don't get me wrong.
Honestly,
I understand the devious like kind of mentality as far as sometimes people just, unfortunately, if their at-home life isn't the greatest in context, when they go out there, they want to act like a menace or act out. And that's from when you're a kid. That's how more or less it happens, right? And then it's just more or less that type of kid just unfortunately grows up and keeps that mentality. It's kind of, as wild as it is, one of my homies said like, yo, Graham, like, he's like, gee, look at it in on a grand scale, we're all just big ass kids. Not saying that we don't have like maturity levels and we don't understand responsibility and different things like that, but in context, if you could just chill around and just be in a comfortable place, whether it's your apartment, whether it's whatever, all day doing what you genuinely want to do, have that freedom in a sense, like when you were a kid, you would do that 9 times out of 10. The other 10, like, yes, of course, like people can be like, no, man, I'm ambitious. I want to go build bridges and I'm an engineer. I'm not saying like, if you can wrap your head around the concept that we're all just big kids, yes, so we obviously understand we have responsibilities and stuff, but if in a sense we could have our parents forever, for example, if you had good parents who treated you right and blah, blah, blah. Oh, yo, like, or like just being able to be youthful, like, forever, so to speak. Like people would have to choose that choice because it's like we grow up, but at the same time, it's like you're still that same person. Yeah, you go through sometimes harsh times or sometimes amazing times. That's what obviously shapes us. But it's like, nah, man. Like when he said it to me, like I had to like, it was like a deep conversation we had. So I was like, nah, like that's some real shit because you think about it like, oh, I'm grown. I do this and I wear a tie and this, that, and the third. But if you didn't have to wear a tie and shit to show up to work, you'd be totally cool, man. You'd fuck around and wear a t-shirt with your favorite band on it or whatever cases and go to that same office and do that same job. So it's like the whole facade we have to put on, Trent, to be like adults and shit. Like when he said that to me, I was like, nah, bro, that's some real shit. We're all just big ass kids. But it's like just some of us, even when you were a kid, you know, the smart kids who like seem more mature, like they had like shit like EpiPens for allergies and retainers for their teeth or braces. And they're like 7, but they know how to do all that shit because they had to be like, quote unquote, they had to learn or they had certain medications that they got to take. Yeah, bro. Like shit's real, bro, but it's just the same shit. It's just we're all grown. Some of us have it, quote unquote, a little bit more together than others, but we're all just fucking kids still, you know?
It's the like you said, the facade of like, oh, I've got it all together, I have it all figured out and whatnot, and look at my tie, look at my fucking car, look at my wife and kids, look at my house, my blah blah blah, like I've got it all together, blah blah blah. And like you said, it's if you're not living how you want to be living, and you're not living like you said, like a big kid, like that's the best way to put it. If you're not living like that, then are you really living? Do you really have it all together? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm so glad I don't have to wear a suit and tie to work anymore, because it's a lot more freeing to just wear literally a t-shirt and a pair of jeans to work now. It's fucking dope. Like I can't complain at all about that. Like,
and that's the beautiful part about it, you know.
It's so sweet. But you know what? Like, it was even like the professional, like the whole professional or corporate atmosphere. It's all fucking garbage, man. And it just ferments just like the most toxic behavior amongst amongst humans, like tribalism. It promotes like competition amongst each other in a negative environment, not like an environment to better like yourselves or, you know, anything like that. It's to better productivity for the fucking whatever. It promotes all the worst parts about like human culture, and it ferments it within its like workplace and its environment, and it's so sanitized and fucking fake. It makes me want to puke.
I feel you, bro. But looking at it from a different angle, like there, as we both know, there is like such thing as healthy competition. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying because
I'm not saying it in like, this is what I meant by saying like it promotes health. It doesn't promote healthy competition is what I'm saying. It promotes unhealthy competition amongst humans.
Okay, if you're looking at it from just a straight, like it's all about quote unquote like having a business. If you're looking at it from a standpoint of it, like it's all about greed, money, blah blah blah, production. Like, we don't care if you are slaving over it. We don't care if you're fucking losing sleep over it, blah, blah, blah. Like, but as you also know, not every job or corporation, I should say, in context is like that. Because if there's somebody who, like, there's certain CEOs, it's a rarity, but certain CEOs, like the one who, like, he snapped, had a startup business, then, like, it went big, this, that, and the third. And then he gave all his employees like an amazing salary and lowered his so that he can be on a more equal playing field with them and shit like that. I know it's a rarity, but I say all that
like 0.001%.
But in context, the fact is there's even more than, well, we can say that as a number, but that might not necessarily be the number. And I'm saying it from a standpoint of, if you know that people, there could be, unfortunately, worse situations, meaning like, for us to not have labor laws, or for us to not have any type of, not saying it can't be way better, but I'm saying for us to not have anything like that, like still living in like I don't want to say lawless, but a society where certain things are not implemented. Like, it's very easy for us to complain about certain conditions from the mountaintop in context, like from being from a place where there are opportunities, and I'm not saying that every opportunity is just or anything like that, because again, certain jobs, unfortunately, they just suck. Like, but certain jobs you might get to it and you might take a liking, like how you kind of mentioned, there are small wins, like being able to wear what you want when you go to work. Small wins like, okay, I take my break, it's supposed to be 30 minutes, but I got a cool as fuck manager who lets me take 45. Now, even though like we might be looking at, because in truth, we should get way longer breaks or way more accommodation if you're going to be straining your mental health. But I'm saying for what it is. Because we can complain about this system, but bro, if we can't fuck around and take it all down, and we have to unfortunately live within the constructs, we got to make sure that we fuck around and get like ourselves, and if it's people we love, girlfriend, mom, dad, whatever, get ourselves to a point of fuck, bro, like whether it's not even influence like status wise, but just so that you're good, you and your family can genuinely have a good life. We might not be able to save everybody, and every corporation we might not be able to take down, but I don't know, bro. Like, there are still ways that we can succeed and get to a point of hopefully, whether it's influence or whatever it takes to bring that big bitch down. Like, hey, but until then, like, it's just a matter of like, sometimes the competition, like within the companies and shit like that, like it might drive you to, whether it's pursue your own fucking business and be like, yo, I'm leaving this bitch. The competition here is making me fucking go and make my own business. Or it might be a situation where it's like, okay, I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna have a competition with homie, and I'm gonna be the senior manager, and I'm gonna be the CEO next year. And I'm gonna like, it all just depends on how you view it, right? Like, but to make it like the reason why I counted the point you made about it being more or less like just the scum of society, only because it sucks, but we kind of need certain things to survive, unfortunately, in the context of money or like using it as a tool to get us to at least have something, like be able to provide. Because yes, we can choose to go live off the earth and live off the land, but granted, you don't know how to do that stuff. You may die, unfortunately, without living within certain constructs, right?
And I think that's part and parcel of this whole system we're under. It's either you do this or you don't and starve to death. That's the option. And it's pretty
fucking stupid. It's a fucked up option, you know?
It is fucked up. Mm-hmm. Oh, but yeah, like, but more of what I was saying was just along the lines of just the culture surrounding like
the cool
just
kids.
The environments like that, just how it's all fake. Like if they promote like all this, oh, we're a non-bullying workplace, yet everyone gossips and drama and blah. It's all just fucking like, oh, there's so many places I can think like that. My current job right now is not like that, thank God. Like everyone's cool, no one gives a shit. Like we're just like, let's get through this fucking 10-hour shift and then let's go home and get high. Like that's all. That's literally both everyone's
that environment's amazing. Like that's a very, how you just described your environment at work, Trent, is amazing, bro. Oh shit. Oh no, I hope you're still there, bro. I just had an alarm. Here. Okay, yeah, I just had my alarm go off during the. Anyway,
oh good.
I'm just saying, like, it's amazing that you can describe your workplace environment like that, bro. Because at least you know, when I go to work, they're not necessarily trying to add stress. Yes, I might not like the hours, or I might not blah 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 blah, but they're not necessarily trying to add it versus the other places you're talking about where it is all gossip and it is bullying and different shit like that. It's high school. You can't sit with us at the cool table at lunchtime. The same tribalism and shit, but there's tribalism in context for a good thing, because if me, you, and 17 other people were on our tribe mode and we fucking make this amazing, whether it's entertainment, whether it's scientific, whatever the case is, like we made some big ass dope conglomerate and we just start shifting culture, and that's a different type of tribalism, and that shit is necessary. So it's hard. That's why, like, but put any definition you want to put on it. It's kind of, a synonym, so to speak. Teamwork, tribalism, because it's like how it all depends on how because you can be a team and do bad shit, is what I'm saying. Versus you can be in a tribe and fuck around and have like somehow that have a negative connotation, being a tribe with somebody, If that's how we were spinning it. If we were spinning it like, yo, if it's tribalism at the workplace, it's a bad thing. When that's 7 or 8 people, if it's sales, Trent, me, you, Pool, and 7 other people, and we want to fuck around and have an amazing month on sales, and we all help each other and give each other clients and shit, yeah, the other workplace might be like, yo, what the fuck, man? The rest of the workplace or whatever, but we understand that we're trying to build and trying to grow, and you know what I mean? So it's how you perceive it, right? That's why I'm saying, like, it's tricky when we say not the bullying or anything like that, gossiping, but just the tribalism part. That's why I'm kind of giving a little pushback on that part. That's all, because we could be a fucking amazing team at work, get all the bread, and people can hate, but we don't give a shit because we're the ones getting all the bread, If that's what our goal was, But on another thing, bro, like real quick, like I want to get your thoughts on it, because a lady came on a streetcar, bro. I was getting groceries today, and like, it's one of them things, like similar to the little girl story I just told, when the random outbursts or whatever. She might have been under the influence or whatever. It is what it is, but she's just like, see, this man here is beautiful or whatever, right? And I'm crying because she's like kind of yelling it, right? Because I'm pretty sure she was drunk, bro. I'm pretty sure she was drunk, but it is what it is. Elderly, kind of maybe near 55-ish, 60, whatever. And she's called, and everyone's kind of on the streetcar turning around like, who is she talking to? And she's talking to me and shit. I'm just like, I'm holding on to my groceries like, this is nonsense. This is fucking nonsense. But I was a few stops from my, no, and then she just sat down and tripped out or whatever. But it's funny as hell because I was like, yo, what are we doing? This city is amazing. It's full of so many characters and shit, bro. Like, but I was just, that's why like early, I don't know, like I know you kind of gave your more or less an example of when it happened to you earlier, but I don't know if you have any other ones where something similar like that might have happened to you, because it's like it's strange because it's random, right? There's no other way for me to put it. There's no other way to put it. It's random. So it might not happen to you, but if it did, I don't know if you have an example you can share, bro. That shit was funny to me, though.
Nothing that comes to mind off the top of my head right now, even though, like, I've had a lot of those, like, NPC encounters, so to speak, in this town. Like, holy shit. Like, it's just crazy, especially with the people downtown. Like, a lot of weird encounters. Like, there was one there was one time I was walking home from my brother's house. It was like 3 a.m. Some guy asked me for a cigarette, and I was like, "No, man, I don't smoke." He's like, "We don't have to be so fucking rude about it." And I was like,
"No,
okay. I don't smoke, dude. Sorry." And I just kept on walking. It's not like I was flipping a pack of smokes out of my hand doing anything. Like weird shit like that. They're just so like just weird, just like encounters like that. Just like
he was so sincere. He was like, well, you don't have to be rude about it. And you weren't even being, that's hilarious. But see, that's what, was he drunk? Do you know if he was drunk or something?
Oh yeah, definitely.
That shit, bro, that's what I'm saying, bro. That shit will bring that shit out of people. Because if they're not violent or angry with you while quote unquote drunk, it's like, bro, they might be like the most sincere motherfucker on the planet or whatever. That shit is hilarious to me. While drunk, because let me get that door for you, madam. They start talking like they're from like the fucking 1920s or some shit, saying things like swanky and shit. Bro, I tell you, this shit is crazy. This shit is fucking crazy. You know? I believe they call them happy drunks. I believe they call them happy drunks. But yeah.
Yes.
That shit is
generally
hilarious.
Speaking, those are the people who I frequent with. So there you go.
You can have an amazing night. You can have an amazing night, you know?
Oh, you can have some wild nights at the same time. Like, goodness gracious. It's all about what you're willing to subject yourself to. Buy the ticket, take the ride. That's how I've always thought about it.
No, for real. But yo, just going into a random sports break now. In NBA news, Kyrie Irving, motherfuckers is hating on Kyrie Irving for his decision not to take the vaccine. In other news, the NBA keeps trying to pit Lonzo versus fucking LaMelo Ball and shit. Yo, let them boys play. Yo, they're brothers. Like, yeah, they're on different teams, but let them niggas rock. Stop trying to compare them niggas. At the same time, what's up?
Also, the NBA announced today they're no longer testing for weed.
Hey, bro, to any players who use that for the rehabilitation purposes, be free, man. Be free. Be free.
Light one up.
No, like, and that's the thing. Even I was gonna say, even me, as I be chilling, because I don't, you know what I mean? I try to, you already know, I expressed to you, I don't really be trying to be taking and all that no more, but it is what it is. I say all that to say, I'm an advocate. I love that. Go hard, NBA. Stop being so. I know y'all wilding with the vaccine situation, with the taking the whoopty wamp, because I don't want to say that word too much. You know, I don't want to talk too much about that stuff to mess up our algorithm, Trent. But what I'm saying is, if for the people who want to try to force that on people, yo, come on, yo, let people have the choice. You're coercing into a decision, and then it's like you wonder why you're getting pushback. Come on now. But anyway, it's not. You got to let people have the choice. Is what I'm saying. Hey, I want to take it, I'm going to take it. Hey, I don't want to take it, I'm cool. You can't just force people to do one or the other. Anyway, love. I'm Tom Swanson, Channel 6, Channel 5 News. No, I just want to break it down and give y'all a little quick news. Don't get me wrong, there's more to report on, but, you know, me and my boy Trent, I just wanted to have a random news update. No, but it's real, though, because, no, they out here, and they're the type of dudes where they got, you know, Trent, they got that type of money where if they choose not to, all right, well, hey, I'm gonna choose, because it was like for certain teams like New York and certain like areas like that, LA and stuff. It's like for the home games, you got to be vaccinated or whoopty wamped up and loopty lapped up, and you know, in the sense of that's what we need you to be in this building. We need you to have that. Cool. A lot of players said, yeah, we with it, and a lot of players were like, nah, I'm cool. And it's like they have a battle where they obviously, if they miss those home games at those stadiums, they're obviously not going to get paid, and that's. Argument that the players are having, right? But regardless, I don't even want to talk about it. I just wanted to break down have a quick NBA news breakdown, and then, you know, we can pivot. We can pivot back to the you know, the regular schedule.
I don't even watch normal sports that much. Despite me wearing a hockey jersey, I don't even watch normal sports really. Like, yeah,
it's all good, bro.
I'm literally just watching people get hit over the head with light tubes on a daily basis. That's what I'm doing. So there you go.
It's just hilarious. That's what it is, man. Keep that in mind, because them types of things are sketches, bro. Where you just, it's a workplace sketch right there. But yeah, man. You know, other than that, I'm glad. You know, I'm glad you're doing well. I'm glad you're progressing and such. You know, same with me. For the people who might not have known, it's all good. It doesn't matter. But your boy was sick. I was under the weather, and when I say under the weather, I mean there was no clouds in sight. Like there was no herbs. I was not a part of it. I haven't been a part of it for a minute, but still got sick, still tripped out, still got the fever and all that. Was bedridden. And I say that to say because I'm like, I was talking to my sister. You know what? We can jump in this, Trent, because it's like this. Yeah. I was talking to my sister like last week about the ebbs and flows of life, right? Sometimes you're on a high, sometimes you're on a low type shit. And sometimes you're at that middle point at the very top where you're not going towards the low yet, but you're like saying to yourself, dang, this might be a point where I'm going towards the low. And it's natural, right? Like this is how life goes. If you believe in those types of things, because you might literally feel it within you. Sometimes seeing is believing. So if you don't see, quote unquote, any positives in one's life, or you choose not to, you're going to feel like your life's always been on the low. But I'm someone who chooses to see that I've had ups and downs, and I'm happy for that. Anyway, fucked around, got sick, and I was like, it might be I was talking to her, like saying, like, it might be a season where motherfuckers is just going down a little bit. And that is what it is. Like, but I'm embracing it, is what I'm saying. I'm embracing it, you know, because I ain't gonna stay down forever, regardless.
As long as you're feeling better, that's all that matters, right? Like,
yeah, I'm at a strong 85. Yeah, I'm at a strong 85. Got my fucking orange juice and shit, so it's all good. But yo, man, you know, to the people listening, I'm glad. I hope y'all continue to rock with us. We just want to keep coming in here, banter with my homie Trent. We can get it going, you know, and just fuck around, like, you know, like, and you know, we're gonna keep rocking and shit, keep having a good time, you know. Like, it's always a pleasure talking with my dog, and you know. But yeah, we can wrap, because I'm on a different type of mindset where whenever there's how I explain it, whenever there's like shit that's meaningful happening within my life, bro, whenever there's anything meaningful happening within my life, I take my time and just try to really, you know, analyze it and let that shit, like, embrace that shit, opposed to being like, oh, I'm gonna be, that's all right, this shit don't matter. It's like, nah, if you fuck around and have a, you know, good or bad, embrace that shit, you know, and allow it to grow. But yeah, man, it's all love, and it's another episode. My name is Graham.
I'm Trent.
And we out here, bro. Ultra Fly Talk. Motherfucking dream team out this bitch.